Good morning and welcome to Tennessee Valley this morning. And we're just pleased that you're tuning in and going to watch us today. We've got a great program, and we've got Ellen Smith on with us today, who's going to be talking about one of the oldest houses in Polk County, and you want to hear what she has to say. It's so interesting. And also, I'm going to be interviewing my co-host today, who is Chris Free. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
Well,
Thank you very much.
I guess I'll call it y'all.
Okay. Well, you're talking to the guests in the studio
Everybody
with
doing
us.
good this morning. That's right. Got coffee and breakfast this morning. And
grab a roll or a sweet roll or eggs, whatever you do, and have your coffee and just sit down and spend some time with us. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to talk about some things that you might be really interested in, I hope. And Chris, did you have a good weekend? This is Tuesday morning, so how would your weekend go besides the rain?
It was very busy, very busy. We got to go, let's see, we had Saturday, we had birthday parties to go to on Signal Mountain, so we were all the way down there. And what else did I was trying to think. It's been such a blur.
And we had dance awards yesterday.
We had dance awards, and my daughter takes dance in Chattanooga, so we had to be at Chattanooga early that morning. So we've just been traveling.
And she won the award for leaps
and turns class.
And turns.
Yes.
The two things that I would not be able to do is what she won an award for, being so good
Well,
at.
I tease her. I'll say, honey, I'll show you how to do it once.
Yeah.
And then they have to take me off in the ambulance. That's about what happens.
Is that what happens?
That would be what happens.
Well, on my weekend, of course, we went to the dance studio for the awards, and it was pouring rain.
Yes,
I have never
Sunday.
seen so much rain in such a short time, but I made it. Of course, there was some people on the road that should not have been on the road that day. They were what we call senior citizens that probably shouldn't be driving, and they couldn't decide whether they wanted to go the left or the right lane or where they should turn. So they took it in the middle, and then when you least expected it, they would turn in front of you. So I thought, oh God, if you'll just get me to the place, I promise I'll be a better driver.
With all the rain and weather, it was hard
and
to see on the interstate.
And I think that same person was in front of me coming over here today.
Oh, were they?
I think so this morning.
They got an early start out today.
They did. The color of the cars changed, but the driving was still the same. Yeah.
Wasn't me, was it?
No, it wasn't you. It wasn't silver,
sure.
so I knew.
Okay.
But anyway, for a while, the last couple of days, I thought somebody is really after me, you know? But
yes,
maybe I was just the wrong place at the wrong time. Would that be it?
Probably. That's probably it. That's probably it. But it was a busy weekend. We were all traveling around. That's the first time I've been to Signal Mountain way up there. That's a pretty area.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Very nice area. It's close to the golf course, I guess,
yes.
up on Signal Mountain. Very pretty.
Fairyland Club?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, very
That's
nice.
a nice club and nice
area through there.
Facilities up there.
Yes,
it surely
is.
is.
Very pretty place.
Yeah, and then I went over to Ray County to the Distinguished Young Women's Program Saturday night at Bryan College, and they had a super nice program. Have a very nice winner, and she's a dancer. Mm-hmm. And so it was fun, and we had one girl that fell, and we had to call the ambulance that was participating in the program, and she twisted her knee, and her kneecap went out.
Oh, goodness.
So that's the first time I've been to a program that we had to call the ambulance and have a little emergency there. But I checked on her this morning. She's doing great. So anyway.
Now, Ray County and Dayton, they had a lot of rain over the weekend. I think there was some flooding over there and things.
They did.
So,
I was out. It was raining some Saturday evening when we were there, but then yesterday, I guess, or Sunday is when they had the most rain and all.
Yeah, they had some flooding over there. They really got hit hard.
They did. But that's a nice area, and Bryan College is very nice. I appreciated going over there, and they were so nice to me. And as you know, and I'll tell the others, that I have taken over the Distinguished Young Women's Program for Tennessee for this year, and it's just been a great time for me to meet the young ladies and go to the programs and be educated in what goes on in these programs. And I'm telling you, it's not an easy task.
No, it's not.
And the volunteers spend a lot of time.
They do. They spend a lot of time getting all that stuff together for those young ladies.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding, though. They get the scholarship money for college and things, which is very nice, and a lot of life skills.
Yes.
Very nice.
And in case you're wondering what we're celebrating this week, it probably is. This is National Tap Dance Week.
Yes.
The 25th of May would be the Tap Dance Day.
Mm-hmm.
So it originated in what year?
I did some research, mid-1800s.
In the mid-1800s.
From English clogging. That's where
Yes,
it originally
and back when, before movies and a lot of things, that tap dancing was very, very entertaining, and people did that for entertainment and would go for the programs and the shows that they would perform. So it's been around for a long time. I don't tap dance.
No.
Do you tap dance?
No, I don't dance. No.
I don't either. I don't dance at all. I have 4 left feet instead of 2 left feet. I have about 4. So
But tap dancing is entertaining. It's a nice.
it is, and I love going to the recitals and watching the little girls.
Yes.
Are they not superior in entertainment?
That is very cute. Yes,
They
it
are.
is. They have a good time with it.
I know, and I think most of all they love it because the shoes make noise.
That's exactly right.
So that's.
Madeline used to do tap, and you'd hear Walker. She'd like to wear them around the house and tap
Oh,
on
I'm
the
sure.
tile. Yes.
Anything that makes noise is great.
Yeah, they like that a lot. They
Yes.
sure do. They sure do.
So anyway, we are also realtors. And we'll just talk about real estate for a few minutes here when we first get started, and then we can let that go. But this is the time of year to buy.
It sure is.
It's the time of year if you want to get your house on the market to sell. It's a good sale time. Homes are selling, and they're selling for a little more than they did last year. So if you've been waiting around to sell, put your house on the market. We have buyers coming in every day.
Yes, we do.
And offers on the houses, and I think the main thing we need to talk about is pricing.
That's very important. Is pricing. That is getting your house priced right is what gets the house moved, and that's what it is. It's not what you think the price should be or how much somebody told you it should be. It's what somebody's willing to pay for that house.
It's right. It's not what it would cost you to replace the house.
That's right.
If you were going to rebuild it, you cannot compare what you're going to get out of it.
That's exactly right.
Because a new house and your house is probably going to vary a little bit, and location and condition and age and all of those things. But we find that sometimes the old houses are built better than some of the new ones. They go up so fast, and the guidelines for building back several years ago was much more rigid than they are today. So it is what we have.
We can find that. I mean, you find that in a lot of cases. That's some of the old homes are really built well.
I know, and so if you're looking for a house, please give us a call. As you know the numbers.
I know
Chris,
the numbers.
You remembers them better than I do.
You can reach us at 423-961-8095. That's my number. You can reach Kay at 423-718-6967. Or you can find us on the web at my website is www.chrisfreekw.com. Or you can reach Kay at www.kfree.com.
So there you have your choice where to find us. And when you go to the website, you'll find a lot of good information about buying and about selling and what's out there and what's available. And service is our number one thing that we do, and that's what we try to provide is good service and individual service. Every house is not the same. Every house is not going to sell the same way. So it's going to take a little more advertising on some. It's going to take that special person for a lot of houses. And, you just can't, it's comparing apples and oranges. It just isn't the same when you put 2 houses. You can build 2 houses exactly like and put them both side by side, and one will sell more quickly than the other because of whatever. We don't know.
Yes,
it's just people coming in and where they feel like that they want to be and their decision. So, that's the way real estate is, and it's fun, isn't it?
It sure is. It really is.
You've been out yesterday. You had 2 calls, just 4 calls, just to go have people look at houses.
Just go look at houses. That's right. People are out looking, and
as long as you're pre-qualified and you've been to the bank and you have a bank letter stating that you're pre-qualified, then we could take you out and show you any house in town that's listed with MLS. Now, if it's a for sale by owner, that would be something different. We would have to call them and get approval for us to show. But you want to make sure that you use a realtor to protect you and your interest when buying. You don't want to buy a house and not have anyone protecting you. You don't want to get a divorce or need an attorney and go do it on your own. You call that attorney to come and represent you because they know what they're doing. And so that's the same way with real estate agents.
It sure is. Make sure just cover yourself.
That's right.
That's right.
So that's the whole thing. And also, when you're buying a house, make sure you buy owner's title. That protects the title. When you buy it, the title for some reason may not be clear, and so you're covered with insurance. If we have to pull in another attorney or something on that to get it cleared, you're covered. It pays the expenses. So don't think I'm going to save whatever that money is. It's different prices for different price homes, but don't think you're going to I'll save that $300 or that $500 or $200. Pay it. Have that coverage. You may not ever need it, but it's like life insurance. someday you may need it.
It's
Your
worth
family
it.
may.
It's worth that little bit at the first to take care of that.
That's right. So make sure you cover yourself when you're buying a home. So anyway, that's my thoughts for today.
That's good.
What
good
are your thoughts today, Chris?
What are my thoughts today? Well,
we need to go to a commercial?
It may be time for a commercial. That's right.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning, and I'm still here with Mr. Chris.
We're still here.
I know, and I'm going to interview Chris a little bit today. He does something besides real estate, and that's social media for people that are
Social media. Well, you could call
what,
it.
What are we?
Well, you could and not.
I was going to say ignorant, but that's not right.
But not proficient at it.
If you're not
need help with
proficient in
it.
social media,
need help with it.
we want to treat you right. He wants to treat me right, but anyway, he does a lot of that, and he's well versed in it. And you had a meeting this
past week. I was at the Cleveland Bradley County Small Business Incubators over here at Cleveland State Community College, and it's a group over there of small businesses, and I think there's about 40 businesses in the facility over there. Great facility over there, very nice. And I think Mr. Hurley is over over everything over there. And they asked me to come speak about social media and how I use it and how it can help small businesses. And that's one thing I do. I do consult small businesses on use of social media, and not just that, on mobile technologies. That really it coincides a lot with each other on that, which is a great service, which a lot of it's free, and it's a great way to market your business, and things that you do. You can have groups, organizations, anything to get your information out there to people, and get that information out there. So
what
it's
is
really
social media?
What is social media? Well, it is an electronic form of really just out meeting people. And that's normally how I put it. If you're out networking with a group of people and talking to people, you find people online that have like interests or
what would be the iPad, what do you use for social media?
What do I use for social
Yeah,
media?
what do people use that they have at home and they
Well,
can
most of
put
them use
it to use?
Facebook or Twitter, and
Okay.
Those are the two main ones. And then there's, if you're in business, it's LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a common one for business-to-business use. And but now there's a whole host of other ones out there.
What are they? Let's talk about them.
We may go through the whole hour just talking
Well,
about
well,
different
well.
ones. There's Vine, is a new one out. There's Instagram, which is very popular out, and Vine is it has to do with a 6-second video, and to get your product or information out there to people. There's Instagram, which is great. There's Foursquare, which is another great service, and that's a location-based service where you can check into places. If you like, I was out to eat the other day, and Chili's uses Foursquare, and I was able to get a free dessert and free chips and salsa because I checked in with Foursquare. And that's really a great service to go around to communities and in your community to go and check in at places. A lot of them have services that they give you discounts and things when you check in. So it's a great little app to have on your phone or whatnot, and it's great for businesses to use. It's for any business to use, not just big corporations that they can have on there. And
How do we use it in real estate?
How do we use it in real estate?
Yes.
Well, we use it to get information out there, virtual tours, and we use it to communicate with potential buyers and sellers, and to get their information to them. And if they have a question, they can actually ask it on Facebook or Twitter or some of the other groups we have. And even a blog that I have is really considered a social media because you get to converse with other people. They can leave a comment and you can comment back to them or have information back to them. All that happens in that time, and while they're online, you can actually, almost real time, if I get a notification, as soon as somebody lists something on there, I get a notification on that to send it back. And I use a service called Hootsuite, which is what I use to manage all of that. And so you're not just having to switch to go from program to program to do all those things. Usually use that under one roof. Everything is right there, and it all flows into different streams that you can follow and keep up with, and gives you notification on those.
Okay, and we do get a lot of buyers.
Yes.
From internet.
Yeah, we do.
And the social media that we use and all. And
Yes.
it's the upcoming and already the way that the younger people,
the younger generation,
that's
use it
how they do
tremendously.
business. That's how they get into real estate, buying a car. I mean, when they start to buy a car, what do? They go to Craigslist and they get on there and start searching.
And they look around. And one thing with social media, and especially younger groups, how they go to social media not just to find products, but to find people that recommend products.
Yes.
And they want to hear comments. They want to hear what other people say about that product. And if you look on there, normally it'll have stars, 5 or 6 stars to rate this product. And when I go to look at things now, you look on there and you look at seeing how those are rated and look at the comments down below before you even make a purchase. They're online looking at those things, and which social media helps to, you can post good things. If somebody says something good about you, you can spread that through your social media,
okay.
And which makes it nice.
When you had the meeting the other day with these new
the small business
people and just getting started and all, did most of them know how to use social media?
A lot of them did not know. They knew about Facebook and a little bit about Twitter. There's one gentleman that knew quite a few things, but most of them didn't realize that businesses themselves need to have a Facebook page. You just don't need to use your personal page. You need to have a Facebook page, which you use that to communicate all of your business information to. And it does show up in your streams, is what they call, where the information comes through. And actually knowing when to post so it gets through effectively. A lot of people don't realize that it's not you just post at any time of the day. There's certain times of the day when people are more apt to look at those things. And so you have to take all those things into consideration and your demographics of who you're focused towards to make sure that information goes out there properly to them.
Well, there was the cost effect. Is what is so tremendous about this, because for a little amount of money, you can do terrific advertising.
Exactly.
Right?
You can get your information out there, and Facebook page is free, Twitter accounts are free, Instagram is free, and Foursquare is free. I mean, all those services are free for businesses to use, and so you can use those to get your information out there, and it's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything, just a little bit of time and learning how to use those products properly, and that's all it takes.
If you know how to use it properly, how much time during the day would you have to do to promote your business if you had everything set up?
If you have it organized and set up, I mean, you should not. Most people, you could probably spend. Well, if you don't know what you're doing, you could spend all day doing it. But most people, you should be able to spend probably about 10 to 15 minutes in the morning getting your post ready, getting everything ready to go, and then actually they are scheduled out during the day. They are posted for you automatically at certain times and certain intervals to the day. And you can actually go, I mean, you can plan up to months in advance.
And then just push the button.
And you just push the button and everything's scheduled for you to do that. And that's one of the things I've actually, besides a real estate agent, I'm also a Hootsuite certified consultant, which allows me to be able to train and teach on that subject of Hootsuite, of managing your social media input and output and how to use those effectively for that. And it doesn't just work with Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. It works with your, there's actually Tumblr and other accounts. That's a blog that's actually a social media interaction like that also. And so there's all these other services that all flow into that you can all intertwine them together to make them work properly.
And you can use it on your iPhone, your iPad.
Yeah, oh yes.
Your computer.
Everything.
It all works
flows
together.
All to that. And one thing about small business that they don't realize, especially with working with your website and your social media, 60 or 80% of your content is actually viewed on a mobile device. And I see so many people out there, I like to use QR codes, or it's the little square codes that you scan with your phone or your iPad to show. It usually takes you to a link or of some kind of video or some kind of pertinent information about that business or person. And a lot of times it just goes to a standard website that's not adaptive to your mobile device. And I find that really, it's hard to see. You have to zoom in and out. And where most websites, if linked up properly, should just go straight to a mobile device when you scan that QR code, which really helps the efficiency of that and not just going to a standard web page, because those are a little hard to manipulate on a standard, on like an iPhone or an Android. And you get that to where it looks good on there and makes it easier to work with for your client. Or you can just have it go into a straight video, and that way they get to see you in person because they get to interact with you on a video and actually get to meet the person that they're going to work with before.
And you do that a lot of times for our listings, right?
Yes, I try to do video listings and do virtual tours. I do the virtual tours, but also talk about the house a little bit also, and have updates on properties and things like that through YouTube.
I think one of the best things you do is through YouTube is when we have an open house, he will go and drive and take the video and then post it. And so if you want to go to our website and see where our open houses are, it gives you directions. And
not just directions, but you get to see your stops along the way.
You get to see the stop signs and
see the area.
And the area, so identifying buildings and so forth. So it's easy to get there. So that's
one thing about being down south. We don't really give street names. We give landmarks. So
usually food. Yeah, my landmarks are always food.
Go down past. Well, I was going to say Shoney's, but Shoney's isn't there anymore. And then you drive 5 minutes past that. I mean, we do
Chick-fil-A,
time
and then
and
you go
landmarks
on
is
up.
how we do things around here.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, so that
That's
helps out. That makes it easy.
Well, before we get off of this topic, talk about if you have several people you want to join in and do a meeting with social media.
Yes. Now, one of the social medias, and one I like that's a little bit newer to the ball game, is called Google Plus. And Google Plus is a great social media outlet, and it's in the hundreds of millions already. It's getting a lot of people on there, but they have what's called Google Hangouts, and Google Hangouts are great. You can have up to 10 people all working together, and they're all looking at the same screen at each other. You have 10 different screens up there, or 10 little picture boxes down below with everybody that's attending the meeting, and someone can moderate. You can hand it off. You can view the screen. And it's great, even with working with properties, if somebody's out of town, we can work together on filling out forms and just have what's called they call it a Hangout's what they call it. And you get to work together with them, real-time video with each other. And
so you don't all have to fly into Atlanta and meet and rent a room and everything.
No, everything can be handled through that, and it's real-time meetings that time. And there's actually one, I read an article with someone that uses Skype, which is another video calls, and they actually start a video call in the morning and they leave it run all day because they're in 2 separate offices all across the country, but yet they look over in the monitor and there's the other person right there that they can ask a question to in real time and, or hold something up to them and say, what do you think about this or whatnot. Everything's in real time without even having to be there. And someone made a note the other day, a quote said, it's not where you work anymore, it's the work you do. And it can be anywhere.
That's right.
And that's real. Being realtors, we're like that a lot because we have to work everywhere. We have to be not just at our office, but we have to be in the car, getting information for clients and doing all that. So, because a lot of times I'll find myself.
We have electronic signetures.
Yes, we have electronic signatures. Everything's sent over the web, doing that in electronic signatures. So anywhere you can be, you can get your work done. And I help businesses do that also, and work with them. And I like to go speak on that.
How can they get in touch with you, Chris, if they would like to have you to come and teach a company or a school or church or whatever?
Okay, well they can send info if they want info about it, and I have spoken at churches before, which is great for kids. Parents don't realize what all kids can do on their cell phones and everything, and I help to educate parents about those, but of some of the traps that are out there for young kids today, because there are a lot. People don't realize what all's out there on social media and the likes on the web, and their cell phones have access to all that. To help educate parents, because last time I went to speak at a church, they were a lot of parents didn't realize what all went on. So it's really good information.
Give them some information real quick.
Okay, you can reach me at info@chrisfree.us, and if you'll email to that, that's my email address I use for that. And you can come to chrisfree.us, and that's not .com but .us. Somebody had already gotten my name when I went to get that a few years ago, so I had to do .us, which I'm an American, which turns out great. And you can go there, and that takes you to a blog that I have there that I monitor and keep up with for information on this. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And you do work for companies if they would like for you to come in?
I come in and help them manage those and help them get things managed for themselves. It makes it, and help them work to get themselves, because a lot of the social media needs to be real time from their facility or from them themselves. You can do what they call have somebody in the background that does posts that aren't really that person there, but it makes it great when it's coming from the people themselves and they get to see that personality of someone they're working with on there. So, yeah.
I hope that's been of interest to you, and we're going to break for a commercial right now, and we'll be back with Ellen Smith, and we're going to talk about her home that was built in the early 1800s. So
it's a great house.
Be back with us in just a moment.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley this morning. Sorry about started laughing there for a minute, and started thinking about something else. And we're welcome back. We're coming back with Miss Ellen Smith, and Miss Ellen, you have a house in
Polk County.
Polk County, and now it's actually city is Calhoun. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, but it's in Polk County.
It's complicated.
And we were talking about from your house, you get to see some of this area, don't you? You
I
get to
do.
see some of the mountains and stuff.
I can see the tips of Sugarloaf and Big Frog and Chilhowie Mountain. Beautiful scenery from the porch and the balcony over.
Okay, and your house that you're at is
Pinhook Plantation.
Pinhook Plantation.
And it's Pinhook Plantation House Bed and Breakfast, actually.
Oh yes, so you got a bed and breakfast there. And but one of the things we were talking about beforehand, your house it's the oldest house on its original foundation.
That's right.
In Polk County.
That's right.
And I made some notes here so I wouldn't forget anything. So when was the house originally built?
They have newspaper articles stating that it was around 1810.
1810.
It's a very federal style plantation house. The stairway itself has not spindles but square spindle type going up the railing, and for that reason they pinpointed it to be about that time. Beautiful old stately stairway going upstairs.
Original
stairway.
Original, isn't it? That's...
The interesting thing is, if you look under the stairway, there's a little door, and you can look in under the door and flashlight and see the square pegs that hold the stairway up. It's all pegged. There are no nails in the stairway, which is more amazing
Authentic,
because
yeah.
how solid it is. It's a beautiful home.
Now it is a bed and breakfast. Now how many rooms do you have for bed and breakfast there?
I have three rooms. They all have king size beds. They are fairly good sized rooms.
Mm-hmm.
The house originally was a 4 square, and if some people know that we're 4 rooms and 2 foyers, one downstairs and one up. The original house had a balcony that went all the way out to the columns, but now it's just a small balcony, but you can sit out on the balcony and watch the stars. We're out in the country, so we see lots of stars.
Because you're close to the Hiwassee River, is that right? Where that is?
We are overlooking the Hiwassee, although there is a gated neighborhood down below us. But it's hard to tell the dogs that they're in a gated neighborhood and they're not supposed to go down to the river. But anyway, it does overlook the Hiwassee, and past that are all of the farms, the dairy farms on the other side of the river, and then past that you see the scenery from the mountains, and it's beautiful when it snows. You can see off in the distance the snow on the tips of the mountains. And
now, I think you have a picture. I've seen a picture of it when it was snowing there.
Yes.
Now, not the mountains, but of the house.
Yes.
And it's really a pretty picture, I tell you. It's just picturesque, just a beautiful place.
Beautiful blue sky and snow going up the hill. When you come down the road, you come to some rolling hills, and that's a farm. Then they have Charlotte cows there. Once had a wedding that the lady came down the stairway. The bride came down, and she was a second or third bride in her lifetime, and came down the stairs in this beautiful white dress. And as she walked out down the steps walking off to the garden, she turned, and I looked back, and I saw the Charlotte cows all standing at the fence because they heard the music. And they were all standing there gazing at what's going on over there. They very curious. But as I said, coming down the road, you see the rolling hills, and that was all Cherokee territory at the time. And it was some kind of grant that was done. And we really don't know exactly how many acres there were. But I know about 2 miles upriver towards the Yocoee, where the Yocoee comes in, there are deeds saying Pinhook.
Oh,
so
all the way up to that area.
It's huge. I know in some of the lower parts of Polk County, the plantations were 15,000 acres. So it could be.
Not real sure how big the original plantation was
exactly.
at that time. Mm-hmm. Now, and you were telling me that you have some of the some copies of some of the deeds.
That's right.
That go back to, when was that?
1849.
1849.
When I first went through them, they're really hard to read. and the sycamore tree here and the stone wall here
Yes.
and so forth. But when I started to read it, I came to 1853, but I had a guest come and he read them, and I thought that was interesting in itself.
He was able to.
And he said, no, it's 1849. I found 1849 in here. Of course, it's beautifully scripted writing and very interesting to
That was
to look
before
at.
all the technique that we were talking about a little earlier, right?
Absolutely.
A little different way of handling
Don't
things.
know how they found Pinhook. But
I know.
Sometimes they wonder how we found Pinhook anyway. But
Oh.
it was on the internet. I found it
Let
on the
me
internet.
tell you, when you get out there, it's just absolutely beautiful.
It is.
And let me say right here, Chris, that we have this house for sale. She's wanting to sell the house, the property.
Oh, yes.
And we do have it for sale. So if anyone's interested in a piece of history and living in that time zone and that type of home, we have it for sale. I'll let you go ahead and describe
thank
the rest
you.
of it.
Yeah. Well, when you come down the road and you pull in the driveway, there's a 4-car carport and stones that are huge. And I was told that they were used for ladies to climb into the carriages, so that they would, in their big hoop skirts, would not have a problem getting into the carriages. So that's why the stones are there. I have one right by the side of the house itself. And walking around past the garden and a stone wall full of ivy and little waterfall and so forth, you come up around to the front door. And I love pineapple, so I have pineapple all over the
Yes.
place, and it's a sign of hospitality, basically, for people to come in. And then you enter into the foyer, but the doors are the original doors, 200-year-old doors, and you can see the pegs in the doors. And inside are the board and batten. There's a hook and a bar that basically were used to board and batten it.
Now, I want to. Do you get a discount on your insurance if you have a board and batten? I know if you have deadbolts, you get insurance.
I got a deadbolt.
I know you got a deadbolt on there, but I think with board and batten, you might even get a better rate on that.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting about it. The house was originally 3 layers of brick thick. So the 4 square area of the house is 3 layers of brick, then clapboard on it,
goodness.
and then it's sided. But so yeah, it's very solid. It's very solid.
I know. We were talking before coming on the air with some other people that the stairwell is so solid, it's unreal. I could not believe how solid and no squeaks or anything in going up those stairs. And new houses are not that solid.
Right, absolutely.
And no nails,
absolutely.
it's all
no
just-
nails.
yeah, it's all
that's
pegs,
what's amazing. The floor is there. Most of the floors are the original heart pine, and they do have the square nails. As a matter of fact, the other day I found a nail that had dropped down from the fireplace, and I was kind of cleaning out the fireplace, and I found this square nail, so I just kind of set it on the mantle. We had to do some renovating and fixing and
Tell me about the fireplaces. Are they wood burning, gas? You have gas, right?
Well, I have gas in the downstairs, and I put electric upstairs in the
Okay.
bedrooms because the downstairs bedroom is very large, so
Yes.
it can
Can
use
accommodate.
the upstairs bedrooms are a little bit smaller, so I decided to go with the electric flaming fireplaces, and they have remotes so that you can turn them on and off and get the
Because
atmosphere.
all the bedrooms in the house have all the bedrooms have fireplaces in it.
Right,
I mean,
and their own bath.
original fireplace.
And their own bath,
Their
their
private
private bath. The fireplaces are the original brick. And this historian that came told me not to, I was going to seal it. And she said, don't seal it because those 200-year-old bricks need to breathe.
Okay.
And I thought, well, that's really interesting. I really want them to breathe.
Yeah.
I don't want them to, because she said they'll crumble and fall apart if you
If you
That's
seal them up.
interesting,
much.
yes.
Yeah. So I've done a lot of research on the building itself. There was a root cellar at one time that went into a little room underneath one of the rooms, thinking perhaps it was Underground Railroad. Could have been. Don't have any true information on that, and the historian said, well, everybody claims that they're in the Underground Railroad. But I bet Pinhook probably was, because it's so close to the river.
Now,
Yes.
Now you said the Cherokee. That's near where the Trail of Tears came through. Was that
Yes,
right
yes,
over in that area?
right along the Hiwassee River. And I have had, as a matter of fact, Nancy Ward's I don't know how many great-granddaughter came and stayed with me for about 3 or 4 days in the bed and breakfast from Oklahoma, from Tulsa. And she went to all the sites where Nancy Ward's grave is, and they have all kinds of statues of Nancy Ward and information on the Cherokees. And she came to visit and did go to her old Hildebrand house and so forth. She was not able to see it, but she just had a wonderful time just going all over the place and enjoying where her heritage came from. But it's not just her. I've had lots of people who have come back to their old family farms and stay with me because I'm out right near the Hiwassee, and all their farms are along the Hiwassee River. So I've had people from California and having family reunions basically to come and see the old heritage farms that they had.
And you have rooms available, you're open 7 days a week?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I have an internet availability calendar, so
yeah. And
I don't do as much social work as I probably should now that I've heard you talk about it. But it's been wonderful. The internet is wonderful. I have people from South Australia. I've had them from England and Holland, and just it amazes me that, and it tickles me because I'm so used to, we have local people as well, and a lot of people from all over locally, but I get them from everywhere, and that's what the
And one of the things that is so interesting, I guess, in going to Pinhook is because you are out, and it's private, and you have that freedom. I mean, just walking up there and all, and the view and all, it's just kind of freedom, right?
Right. Oh yes, absolutely. Sometimes you forget when you're in a place.
Yes.
But every once in a while, I'll go out and sit on the rocking chair on the front porch and just rock and pet the dog and enjoy the
enjoy the area.
Absolutely. I mean, and every day is different. Like this morning, it was foggy, and the rolling fog on the river and so forth. It's just beautiful, and every day is a different day.
Now, you're not close. You're not too far away from Ocoee area either, are you? Because I know you said people come there to stay, and then they'll go up to Ocoee.
Right, they'll go to raft.
Go rafting and things.
Yes, that's right. I'm probably about 10 minutes away from some of the rafting companies, so it's really close. It's a little meandering, and I've had guests say, you use that word meandering very well, because you do kind of meander to get there. But I'm an old sales rep, so I know how to give good directions.
You know how to do that.
You give good directions there. That's
yes.
Now, where can they find you on the internet?
It's www.pinhookplantation.com.
Okay.
Very simple.
That's easy to find.
Yes, and
you fix one meal a day for them.
Yes, and I'm not supposed to, but I give them cookies, and sometimes we have cheese trays and things like that, as far as little special things that they can get. But there's an add-on on the website, so they can add on whatever extras they want.
They would like.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay, but I know I was speaking with you one day, and I said, "Tell me what you do for breakfast." It sounded very, very good. So if you want to go into that, you can, but you don't have to go into what you serve for breakfast.
I always serve with stuffed French toast.
Yes.
Which is a croissant with some jellies and so forth, and it's everybody seems to love that. But every once in a while I get a wild hair, and I'll put ham and cheese in it and put hollandaise sauce on it. Or
how you feel that morning when you get up.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds good too.
Sounds like the way I cook,
Yes. Well,
basic, but just a little bit of variety.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't, especially when I have guests there for quite a few days, it makes it a little challenging. And I do gluten-free, and I do all those kinds of things, and the vegan, and I had vegans that had come one Christmas time and spent days with me, and I thought, they can't eat sausage, and there are certain things that you just can't serve. So it was a challenge. But I did pretty well, I think. I think they were okay when they left. But it's just a fun thing to do. And I was telling my guests this morning, I said, it's always nice to have guests, because everybody's happy. They're on vacation. They're on a holiday, and they're ready to enjoy themselves.
And there's no rush.
No.
I mean, it's not like you have to stand in line to check in.
No, not at all. And we are very, very much in the country, and fireflies are there for those people who come from Florida, and there's no fireflies and things like that. So
I'm sure they see a bunny running across every now and then, and a squirrel, and you get deer.
Oh yeah.
And you have
deer crossing Pinhook Road all the time,
okay,
and I dodge rabbits and so forth, But there's a red hawk, as a matter of fact, that has settled onto Pinhook Road and dived at me the other day, and I thought, what was that? But anyway, it's not far from a lot of things, and I do have Lee students, their parents come and stay so that they have some time to spend with
In
their
the area
family
and,
and spend in the area. I don't think there's another bed and breakfast in Cleveland area at all anymore.
Not that I'm
Not
aware
that
of.
I'm aware of.
And so I do get a lot of people who look on bedandbreakfast.com and look for something as
Close
close
in
as they
to-
can. And it's anywhere from 20 to 25 minutes to the top of Cleveland, just depending on where people are going. Of course, all of the wonderful things in Cleveland to do, and Lee University there. But wonderful country, quiet. I have a new dog.
That's what you went and picked him up last week. I think you were telling me
I
you were
did.
on your way down to get him.
Somebody had taken my basset hound, and I don't know whether it was a guest or not.
You didn't go looking
No,
for it.
I was heartbroken for 3 months, and I
okay.
finally got a new basset hound.
Oh, okay.
And her name is Audrey.
Is
And
she a
Aud-
pup?
No, she's
No?
2 years old.
Oh, okay.
So, and she looks very much like George, my old basset hound. And she doesn't quite act the same, but she'll learn. But basset hounds are wonderful bed and breakfast dogs because they don't really jump because their legs are too short.
That's good. That's good to know. That's good to
Now
know.
the main bedroom in the house is downstairs. Is that the largest one? Is that
That's
right?
the largest one. It's the 20 by 20 size, and it has the gas log fireplace.
And she has a beautiful parlor.
Oh yes, the gathering room.
Yes.
is all decorated in reds and
And
golds
it's antiques.
And
I
it's
mean,
antiques.
it goes with the
It's
the
time
setting.
frame. Yeah, that's-
Yes, it is antiques, but it is not stuffy.
Yeah. No.
It's comfortable. In
No,
it.
it's very comfortable. Very, very much for the period of when that house was built and this
Right.
type thing.
Right, and everybody comes and sits around and talks, either outside. We make a little fire sometimes on the front porch, and people sit around and just tell their little lies and fun.
I want to tell you one story real quick. My oldest granddaughter, we took her to a bed and breakfast in Gatlinburg. And we took my mother, my husband and I, and we took mother and the grandchild. And so my mother and the grandchild were going to sleep in the same room. And so we had 2 rooms. And we were bringing our luggage in and going up the stairs. And she looked around at me. She must have been about 6 or 7. She said, "Do we really know these people, Nana?" And I said, "Well, no, we don't really know these people, but we will be knowing them. There'll be people here that we know." So anyway, we're going to be right back in just a moment and with commercial right now.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy.
And welcome back once again to Tennessee Valley This Morning, and should be finishing up your breakfast and cup of coffee here just in a few minutes. And Kay, well, you were finishing up a story about, I think, at the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, my grandchild just wanted to know if we really knew these people. You know, we were bringing our luggage in, parking in their parking lot, and going upstairs to their bedroom. And she was just concerned about it, you know. So, and I know you said you have some stories too that about it.
Yes.
Do you want to share anything with us?
I had an older gentleman who was 92 and was with his family all there, and they had gone off for dinner, and in the morning they got up, and most of them went off to raft and left one of the daughters there. Well, she was up taking a shower, and he came down, and when he came down and sat down, he didn't know anybody, and he was very nervous and very upset. He thought that they had left him in this strange place. And the daughter came down and calmed him down, and everything was okay. But then later on, she told me that the night before, she said, he was really mad at you last night. And I said, what did I do? I'm trying to make everybody happy. And she said, well, it wasn't that. She said he thought he was coming to a family home, just like your daughter, your granddaughter.
Yeah.
And why wasn't I feeding them supper? Why were they going out for dinner? So anyway,
He thought you were not a very good host.
No,
right?
I wasn't a family member. Why wasn't I taking care of them? But yeah.
Said you can sleep here and have breakfast, but I don't do dinner. Right? Is that the way it goes?
Especially for that large group, it was quite a fun thing though. And I do have people again from just all over the place. So. And sometimes I can't understand them. I had a fella from Australia. He was a Civil War buff, and he wanted to spend time in the house because the Confederates and the Yankees had been there at different times. There was even a skirmish on the hill. And I told one of my guests, I said, I got that directly from Robert E. Lee. And he said, I believed you up to a certain point. He said, but what are you talking about? And I said, no, he's a Robert E. Lee enactment. And he basically told me there was a skirmish on the hill, and they wanted to do another reenactment on the hill.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it was kind of funny. But those guests were like, "Wait a minute, you didn't talk to Robert E. Lee."
The house I think the house may be haunted with him, huh?
Right.
Well, I always enjoy going to bed and breakfast. They're nice. They're comfortable and not quite as stressful as going to a hotel and walking all that distance and all. So if you're interested in going to Pinhook Plantation for a weekend or a family get-together, someone coming in and you'd like to go stay, give Ellen a call or go to the website. And what was that website again?
It's www.pinhookplantation.com.
And all the information will be there, and how to register, how to go. I'm sure there's prices there. There's pictures of the place.
Oh,
and if you want to see more pictures, you can go to kfree.com or chrisfreekw.com. And we have pictures on our website because, like I said, we have it for sale. And it can be a private resident, or you could go ahead and do another bed and breakfast if that's something you'd like to do and you're retired or something, and you just like to have something to spend your leisure time with. That would be a great place for you to invest some money and go. And the price, can I go ahead and tell the price? $299.9, and that's for the house and the 3 acres, and it's beautiful. We've lowered that price from where we originally started, and so if you want to see it and you're interested in it, go to the website, and then all you have to have is is a pre-qual letter that states that you're qualified to buy, and we can take you to see it. So give us a call, Chris or myself, or go to our website, and we can help you with that. And I'm sure Miss Ellen would like for you to come by and look at it and maybe be interested in purchasing it. Also, we have 2 acres of land. Yeah, it's 2 acres, I believe. 2 acres of land right beside of it that's in the gated community, but it connects to her property. So if you wanted those 2 lots and the house, you'd have access to the river. So that would be quite a thing, and you'd have 5 acres of land plus the house, and then you wouldn't have to build anything on the other two lots. And the other 2 lots are really reasonable. It seems like you can get both of them for around $40 some thousand, and so it's not a great big investment on that to have water access, and well, it's got a public ramp. You're 1 street over from the water, but you're in the gated community, and you would have the access to the ramp and free charge. So anyway, I just wanted to tell them about that. I wasn't going to say anything about the house being for sale, but this is a great opportunity when they have heard so much about it, Ellen.
Well, I've spent 12 years there.
Have you?
And it's just a wonderful place, and like I say, it went by really fast.
You're just wanting to do something different now.
Right. My grandchildren are in Cleveland, directly in Cleveland, and I thought, well, it might be time to just spend a little bit more time with them, and that's the plan.
Well, that's a great plan, and there's nothing better than spending your time with your grandchildren. I love it.
Yes.
It's just a pleasure every day to spend time with them.
Absolutely.
And they keep you on your toes.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yes.
And
they wonder why I have people coming too.
And staying at your house. Like
why can't I come down there?
Why are these strangers coming to my house? I know. I'm sure that's the way it is.
Exactly. Yeah, my granddaughter always wants to come and stay, and she said, "Why doesn't Nana have room for me?"
Said, well, I have these paying guests that come.
Yeah, sometimes I have to worry
It's called
about
buy groceries.
Yes, exactly.
That's kind of the way it is. I know.
I buy lots of groceries.
I know. Mine will say, "What are you working so hard? Are you off this time or that?" No, I'm working. I'm buying groceries, paying the utility bill, just a few things like that.
Absolutely. And it's for being an old house. It has been remodeled and it has all of its.
But the character is still there.
Oh, but the character is there, and it's at one time there was a separate summer kitchen. It does have a regular kitchen now.
Yes, it does. It's been updated, and she has a very nice kitchen to work in.
Yes. A large kitchen to work in. It's got a lot
of
space.
It is very large, and very enjoyable thing to do.
Okay.
Very, very enjoyable.
Ellen, it's been quite a pleasure having you today and hearing what you had to say about the house. Even though I had seen it, it's always good to hear you talk about it because I always miss something. Chris, it's been great having you here today and having the opportunity to interview you on your social media.
Yes.
You want to give them information real quick how they can find us if you want to do real estate?
Yes. You can reach us by phone at 423-961-8095. That's my number. You can reach Kay at 423-718-6967 or on the web at chrisfreekw.com or kfree.com. And I'll have show notes up today with a link to Miss Ellen's house there. So if you want to reserve a space there, to reserve a room there, you can.
Love to share it.
Thank you, Ellen, again.
Thank you,
and thank you for being with us this morning and having your coffee with Good Morning Tennessee. And sorry to say Good Morning America, but we're not Good Morning America. We're Tennessee Valley Good Morning. Hey, my mind just goes everywhere. You never know where we might be next. But anyway, thank you for being here. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day today and enjoy the sunshine.
Bye-bye.